Good morning, everyone. My name is Zia, and this is Chasing the Moon. As you can see, I am not in my shuttle bus this morning. I'm actually in an apartment building, in a friend's apartment. Been doing a little bit of house sitting this past week. And it's in the building that I have my name on the list for an apartment. As I've mentioned before, I've been on the list for 3.5 years now. So I have no idea how long it will take to get a home base again. But that's where I am right now. What a day it's been. A very unexpected day. So yesterday, a Facebook friend who I've never met in person mentioned that she was going to be leaving Vancouver Island, heading back to the mainland. She lives full-time in a converted shuttle bus. And I had said to her previously, listen, when you come back to the mainland, let me know and we'll try and meet up, get together. So I noticed the post yesterday, sent her a message late last night saying, where are you going to be? Is it possible? Do you still want to meet up? And when I woke up about 20 after 6 this morning, there was a message from her saying, yes, I'm waiting for the ferry now, and I should be on the mainland about 8 o'clock. Plus, she was going to be arriving when it would still be rush hour, and one or the other of us was going to have to try and get through downtown Vancouver to meet up. So what we ended up doing was she got on the Trans-Canada Highway from Horseshoe Bay and headed east, because that's where she's going. She's heading east. And I headed east from where I've been staying in Richmond to meet her at a regional park. And we did. And I have a tour and an interview with her to show you today. So let's just get to it. Let me introduce you to this lovely lady that I met. And oh my gosh, did we ever hit it off. And to her lovely dog, Stella. Okay, so tell me about Ellie.
Ellie is a 1992 Ford E350 shuttle bus. Okay. Started out her life at a hospital in Lethbridge, Alberta, doing, patient transport or something. Became a church bus in Edmonton. Was intended to be a bus to do dog rescues, and now she's my home.
Okay, all right. And is she gas or diesel?
She is a gas engine.
Gas engine. How long is she?
25 feet.
Oh, but same as mine then. Yeah. Mine's an E350 gas as well.
Yeah. So
yeah.
You feel my pain at the pump.
Yes, I do. I do. I'm noticing solar panels on your roof.
Lots, yeah.
What have you got?
I have 1,500 watts, 1,520 to be exact watts of solar.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a bit of overkill, but I had enough roof space, so why wouldn't I use it?
Why not?
Yeah.
Can we go inside and
Absolutely.
have a look? Okay.
Come on in.
Lead the way.
Hi, Stella. Okay, you hop in first.
Was that the original front door?
No, it was a typical shuttle bus door, and it was horrible. It didn't seal. It rattled. I couldn't lock it.
No.
So I ripped it out and put in an RV door. And what I had them do is I took it to a place to get it vinyl wrapped so that it would match the look of the van. So it kind of looks like it's always been there.
Yeah, because it's got a vintage look to it.
Yes, so, she does.
Yeah, it matches your windows.
Yeah.
So that's fabulous. That's what I need.
Yeah, I'm really happy with it. It has, as typical of an RV door, it has the screen door.
Yeah.
It's broken right now, so I have to repair it. But it came in really handy last summer, helping keep the bugs out, but airflow, right?
Yeah.
Because that's always the thing. All right, come on in.
Okay.
Okay, you come out of the way.
Oh, I like your stairwell.
Come out of the
way.
Is
that tile?
It's that peel and stick tile.
Very nice.
So it's just vinyl, but it looks kind of like tile, but I was afraid that real tile might crack there. So I just went with a peel and stick.
Right.
Bit messy right now because, travel.
I know.
But
I know. Like your little home sign. So
Yeah.
you've got like a barn door.
I do. I so desperately wanted a barn door in my house when I had it.
Yeah.
But never bothered to install a barn door.
Yeah.
And I thought, all the rules are off. I can install a barn door in here. So I found this door
Yeah.
off some company that like took shipments that got damaged.
Yeah.
And I got the door for $20.
No way.
Yeah, I just had to cut it to
with
size.
the fixture and everything?
The fixture I had to buy separately, so that was off Amazon for, I don't know why, I think maybe $60.
Right.
But yeah, so cheap.
Yeah.
And I never close it though. That's the funny thing is. So I put this barn door on because I like the look of it, but I never actually use it.
Yeah.
Because inevitably I forget to latch it so that it doesn't move when I'm driving.
Right.
And I just get frustrated because it just slams back and forth, so it's locked in place and I never close it.
Oh, okay.
It's a bathroom door, but nobody's here, so I don't even have to worry about a bathroom door.
There you go. So you have a shower stall, but you don't use it, right?
That's right. I really thought when I built this that, oh yeah, a shower is great, but I never finished it and I never used it, so I turned it into a closet. So I put that up and
Right.
just sort of cover everything up, so it houses my Starlink, it houses my big freshwater jug, it
Right.
houses clothes, and that's it. So
Right.
it'll never be a
Okay.
shower, it'll always be a closet.
And you've got what
That-
kind of toilet?
That's a composting toilet that I built myself.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yep. And have since built a couple for friends because it works really well.
Wow.
And then just some little storage units to keep
Yeah.
my little pine shavings on the one side and toilet paper on the other.
What do you do for privacy when you're in there?
I have Reflectix.
Okay.
I just
You
took them
just
off because
take a peek
they don't
in.
look so nice. So
Yeah.
yeah.
You've got a full-length mirror, which
I do.
every woman needs. I don't have one of those. So.
I never use it though.
No.
That's the funny thing. I can go days and go, geez, I haven't looked in the mirror in days and it's right there.
Yeah. Yeah. So you built this bus out yourself.
I did.
Yeah.
I can't take credit for the electricity
Okay.
and I can't take credit for the plumbing.
Okay.
Those were two things I didn't feel I had the time or honestly the desire to learn. I was so scared that I would blow myself up with the electricity and that all my plumbing would leak.
Right.
So I hired that out and I'm
Yeah.
so glad that I did because they did an amazing job.
Yeah.
But the rest, 100% me and a few friends who helped me out along the way.
And you actually gutted your bus.
Did I
didn't
ever?
you? Yeah.
I was so lucky it came mostly gutted. It didn't come with seats in it,
Right.
but it still had all that, I don't even know what you'd call it, like velvet wall paneling and stuff, and the
Yeah.
crappiest insulation, and there was mice nests behind
Oh
it.
my God.
And I tore out the floor, and at one point I didn't even have a floor at all. Like we would have been standing on the ground inside here at one point. And it took me almost a year just to get to the point where I had a floor and framed walls.
Wow.
I took out every single window and cleaned it all up and resealed it and reinstalled every single window.
That's
So
a
it was a
work.
huge job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what about your cabinets? Did you?
So this cabinet is ancient IKEA because it's real wood. It's not MDF particle board.
Right.
It was in my kitchen in my house and it was actually quite a bit bigger. It had another drawer like this and a door like this on the other side. So I cut it down to be smaller and a better size for here.
Right.
I bought this off Facebook Marketplace out of a restaurant that was closing down for $50. And
Including the faucet?
that included the faucet, that included the sink and the cabinet. $50 for that.
That's one of those pot filler
Yeah.
ones. Oh my gosh, with a spray.
Brand new, those are about $300.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got that for $50. It's the most ridiculous sink that you could have in a tiny home on wheels.
Yeah.
But I have bathed my dogs in there.
I was just going to say, could you fit the dog?
Yeah, the dogs fit in there.
Yeah.
I have pretty much bathed in there most of the time.
Yeah.
Like I'm so happy with it, and it's great for storage too, because I can go through all of my dishes and keep them in the sink.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. And you've got a little storage above here as well. Was that shelf there?
No,
No.
And I couldn't do overhead cabinets because of the incredible slope to the sides.
Yeah.
Like those people out there that have fairly straight walled units have no idea how lucky they are.
Yeah.
Because these walls were a nightmare to work with. And if I'd have tried to put cabinets, they'd come to here and it would feel so foreboding and it would have covered half my windows.
Yeah.
because my windows are just so big and ridiculous. So
but that's what I like about a shuttle bus.
Yeah, right?
Right?
Is the big
all
windows.
the windows. Yeah.
They're a blessing and a curse.
They are.
Because in the summer they're too hot.
A lot of heat and a lot of cold.
And they let out a lot of heat in the winter. So this is just a little shelf, and I had to adjust the brackets. I had to put a spacer, a little wedge behind there to make them be able to come out enough to hang straight.
See. Yeah.
And it's just like picture frame cable held up, and nothing's ever fallen.
That's
except when a mechanic took it for a joyride once, but we won't talk about that. So yeah, just it's surprising how much storage I can manage to put in all these little baskets up here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fabulous. And what is on your walls?
This is just that paneling you get at Home Depot.
Oh, okay.
So if you look at like Van Life Plus or Van City Van Life, they have the barn board looking stuff. This is just a different version of that.
I like the white.
Yeah, it's nice. I like the chevron pattern. It's bright.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit brighter than some of those other ones, but it wasn't pure white because dogs, dirt.
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really happy with the way it turned out and allowed me to be able to do kind of anything with some color.
Yes.
To play off it.
Yeah. And what about your flooring?
My flooring is luxury vinyl plank.
Yeah.
I've never laid any kind of flooring before.
Yeah.
And I probably would have went with like a gray or almost a black if I'd had a choice. But this was donated to me by a friend's friend who had 2 leftover boxes after a bathroom renovation. She gave them to me for free. I'm like, I don't care what the color is. I'll take it.
But it's actually, it really warms.
It really does.
Because you've got a lot of white on your walls and ceiling and your cabinet.
So in hindsight, it's probably the perfect floor.
Yeah, I think it is.
It's comfortable. It was really easy to do, surprisingly.
Yeah.
And I keep it covered with carpets anyways. So what does it matter what the flooring is?
Yeah.
But it's just vinyl plank flooring.
Yeah. So you have, you've got like a nice backsplash there.
Mm-hmm. Again, that's just peel and stick tile. And was a way that I thought, I could add some color in here.
Yeah.
So just did it in that corner because I didn't know what else to do there.
Yeah.
And along the back because again, the angle and the slope of the walls.
Yes.
My furniture is as far back as it can go, but I have a massive amount of space back here.
Me too.
So great, but what a waste of space. So it's just kind of full of junk. But I had to put something here or everything would have fallen off the counter.
Exactly.
So I just threw up a little piece of plywood backsplash, covered it with peel and stick.
I don't have quite that big a gap, but I have a gap also. But my counter, my son-in-law, I put the kitchen cabinets and everything together, myself and a friend, and then my son-in-law adjusted them to fit because they're IKEA. Mm-hmm. And plastic legs don't work.
No, they don't.
In the bus.
Nope.
So he adjusted it for me, and he was able to take the countertops pretty much to the edge of the window.
See, and I couldn't do that because that's where my windows open.
Oh, right.
So many of these buses have the windows that open up
Mine
here.
slide at the
wish
top.
I did.
Yeah.
It didn't dawn on me how much I'd hate that until after I bought it. And then it was too late.
Yeah.
So I'm making do with what I've got. I'm making the best of things. But the windows open down here, and if I'd have pushed my counter, I would never have access to these windows. No. And I like it.
You thought of that in time.
Right? Because like right now we've got the fan going, this window's open, and there's a major breeze coming in.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if I'd have blocked them off, I would die here in the summer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and I see you've got electrical outlets too.
I do.
So you've got, and that's all powered from
inverter.
From your inverter.
Yeah, well, go take a look at my electrical cabinet. It's kind of my pride and joy.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got several 110 outlets, and most of them have USB in it as well. So I have lots of places to plug in USB stuff. Yeah. And then, of course, I've got my DC. So I've got AC and DC in here.
Yeah. And your ceiling is...
Is it fun?
It looks like the old tin ceiling.
That was the idea.
Yeah.
So I didn't know how to finish it off. It was the last thing that went in. I was at the point where I was sick and tired of building this thing. Yeah. And so it's just 1/4-inch plywood because that gave me at least a bit of flexibility. Yeah. But that's ugly. And I didn't want to do like a tongue and groove ceiling because of weight, because this is already so heavy. Yeah. And I thought that might be beyond my skill level. Yeah. So I covered it with wallpaper. It's paintable wallpaper. That's all it is. Because an actual tin ceiling would have cost a ton of money. And I painted it light blue because knowing that I was heading to Vancouver Island for the winter, that coming from Alberta where it's sunny all the time, no matter how cold it is, I thought I was going to really be affected by not seeing blue sky.
Yeah.
So I thought I'll have blue sky inside my house.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, that was the plan. And I love it.
Yeah.
And everybody told me I was crazy. Oh, you're so stupid to do this. It's never going to stay. It'll fall down, especially with the humidity.
Nope.
It's almost 2 years.
Yeah.
And it's perfect.
Yeah. No, it's great. Because I have to redo my ceiling and I can't figure out what I want to do with it. So,
I'll tell you though, wallpapering a ceiling
yeah.
is a nightmare.
Yeah.
I don't recommend it. I did it in my house.
Yeah.
And I swore I'd never do it again.
Yeah.
And then I did. And it's easier when you can touch the ceiling because it's short.
Yeah.
But
not easy. Though.
It was so hard. It was so hard.
Well, that's it. Everything I think of that I could do, I think, can I? you know?
Well, and you can.
I keep putting it off.
If you're willing to be patient enough and work hard enough. But it was hard.
Yeah.
It was really hard.
Yeah. So what else do we have here?
We have my living room / dining room.
This piece pulls out,
And this does here too. So this is actually the plans. I'm going to shut that off just so it's not so loud. This plan I bought off the YouTube channel Our Way to Rome.
Okay.
They built a shuttle bus. They have a very popular YouTube channel. And the way they film and edit and show their build process is like nobody else. I don't know why they don't have one of the biggest YouTube channels out there. They're one of the best channels I've ever seen.
I don't think I've seen their channel.
They're out of upstate New York.
Yeah.
Just amazing people, amazing builds. Right now they're living in a kind of German, I can't remember what it's called, but it's a pretty cool vehicle. Oh, yeah. But I bought the plans off them for $25.
Wow.
And it was so easy to follow. Everything is so detailed and well laid out. I couldn't screw it up.
Yeah.
So it's a couch.
Yeah.
It's in couch form right now. This comes out and I have a lagoon mount to make it into a dinette.
Okay.
This pulls out. It's really just the way for the dog to get up into the bed. Right. This pulls out so it can be a 4-person dinette. Oh. We've had 5 people around the table playing cards in here, so it does work.
Yeah.
And I have used it as a spare bedroom as well. So I've had friends stay over. Yeah.
I don't have that option.
Well, I didn't want that option at first because I'm like, I don't want anybody to stay with me. I took on my passenger seat so I couldn't have passengers.
Yeah.
But sometimes out of necessity, you have people that stay over, and it actually worked out well. And last month, I had 2 friends stay with me. One slept here, one slept on a mattress on the floor. So it was pretty busy in here.
You're stumbling over each other to get to the bathroom.
Luckily, I didn't have to go in the middle of the night. They did, and so that was their problem.
Yeah.
So I got to stay up in my suite.
Right. Yeah.
So this has been an incredible way to just have a multifunctional space. Yeah. I love it. And I mean, that's the whole thing about living in a space like this. Everything has to do multiple purposes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very beneficial for sure. So.
And then that's my bedroom.
Right.
So I built those cabinets piece by piece, one piece at a time that go above, and that's essentially clothing storage.
Yeah.
I have baskets hidden at the head of my bed underneath. That's more storage. My big giant, I have a 30-gallon water tank. It's underneath my bed under the head of the bed. My fridge, which is hidden by my air conditioner that shouldn't be here right now. But my fridge is the Iceco dual zone fridge down there.
Right.
And everybody thinks this is my fridge, but it's not. It's a freezer.
Oh my goodness.
It's a residential freezer.
Oh my gosh. And you have that because
I had 2 dogs. Right now I have just the one that you've seen already. Yeah. And I lost him at Christmas time. Yeah. And he had very, very specialized diet. He was allergic to everything in the world. And so when and they eat raw food.
Right.
So it's really tough to find food for him. Yeah. And when I'd have to buy at least 100 pounds of it to last me till I could find it again.
Right.
And the only way to do that with raw meat is to have a freezer. So it's ridiculous. And I am well aware of that. But now that he's not with us anymore, I could get rid of the freezer, but she still eats raw, so I can buy lots of food for her and not have to worry about always finding a pet store. And I've gotten really spoiled with being able to have ice cream and frozen pizzas.
Ice cream is my thing too. When
Right?
my power, oh, sorry, honey, sorry, sweetie. When my power ran out when I was coming back from the bus fare, I was coming up the coast of California, and my power ran out, and I had fridge and freezer full of stuff, and I thought, well, there's nothing I can do, so I'm just going to sit here and eat my ice cream, and I ate the whole tub of ice
I
cream.
would have totally done the same thing.
That's kind of my
Right?
catchphrase now. Eat the ice cream.
Eat the ice cream.
There's nothing you can do.
So instead of watching it melt and spoil,
Yep.
you were gonna eat it anyways.
Yeah.
Why not just eat it?
I know. I listened to the ocean hitting the rocks below, and sat and ate my ice cream as the sun went down.
I love it.
Yeah.
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 So yeah, I'm a little spoiled, and I honestly don't know how I'd get it out of here. Because
How did you get it? Oh, before your bed was in?
before
Through
the bed
back
was
door.
in, the back
That's
door
how I got
open,
my big chair in.
right?
Yeah.
So I can't take the bed part.
No.
Because I can't take the mattress off
Yeah.
because the freezer's in the way. And I can't get the freezer out of the way because the mattress is there. So we're kind of stuck with each other for life.
It looks that way.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So you're finding that you have like plenty of storage and
I do.
yeah.
Because I think it's not so much that I have a lot of storage. I just don't have a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I
Did you find you had too much when you first started?
Nope.
No.
Because I've been minimalist my whole life.
Oh, okay.
I've never had, all the knickknacks and stuff around the house. So I didn't have a lot to get rid of.
Yeah.
I have a minimal wardrobe. So it was really just getting rid of only bringing what I knew I needed on a regular basis.
Yeah.
And I always say I have everything I need and nothing I don't.
Yeah.
If I don't use it, it's gone.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I am bare bones. Like I've got storage under the seats here,
Yeah.
and I've got a garage in the back,
Yeah.
and
Can we
I've
have
got
a look at that?
yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
you've got
And I've got
storage here?
this little storage unit here,
Yeah.
which has come in really handy.
Yeah.
But I just don't have a lot of stuff,
Yeah.
and that makes it so easy to live
Yeah.
when you just don't.
I have too
that.
much stuff still. And I have stuff stored, some at my daughter's, some at a friend's. I have to, well, unless I end up going into
right.
housing
Then you'll need it,
again.
right?
Yeah, then I'll
I have
need
a
it. So
few things stored at a friend's house.
yeah.
But very, very minimal. And thank you, Stephanie. But it's pretty minimal. And most of it is like paperwork that you can't get rid of because, taxes.
Maybe a few little
stuff.
photo albums or something.
That's it.
A few keepsakes. Yeah.
And the tires that need to get changed every year because 6 huge tires is a lot to cart around.
How do you find that when you need to check the air in your tires when you've got a dually?
I usually just pull up to OK Tire or Cal Tire and bat my eyelashes and
I'm going to try that. Yeah, I actually just took my bus in for servicing. I said, can you check all the tires in the air? Just make sure it's roadworthy.
Yeah,
you
they're really good about that.
Yeah.
And I mean, I can do it and I have the tools to do it, but
it's not easy.
Why? Especially the inner.
Well, that's what I mean.
Right, the dualies are a nightmare.
Yeah.
And those guys know what they're doing. So, and this thing she's had a lot of mechanical issues, so she's in the shop enough that they get checked and dealt with pretty regularly. Because if it's in the shop for anything, I'm like, oh, it's there. Can you check my tires? And they're usually really good about doing it.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Can we have a look at your power?
Absolutely.
And
Let's go out and look at that. It was gone by the time I bought it.
My wheelchair lift was gone.
Yeah,
too,
but it had been there.
Yeah. Oh, it lifts up that way.
Yeah.
Mine swings open.
They're these big gull-wing doors.
Wow.
So yeah, this is the powerhouse.
Oh, you've got a Victron system.
Yeah, full Victron system.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm so happy with it. It's been great.
And is this the diesel, this yellow for your...
So I have a diesel heater and I have a tank that I installed on the underside of the vehicle on the other side, but I carry an extra one just in case, especially for the winter. Yeah. So I have 600 amp hours of lithium batteries. Okay. They're the SOK batteries, the self-heating ones. They've never had to self-heat because I'm smart enough to spend winter on Vancouver Island. And I've got a DC charger that I'm actually replacing with a better one as soon as I get back to Calgary because it's just not, it was a 30 amp and I want a 60 amp.
Right.
I've got a 3,000 watt inverter because course I do.
Yeah.
I'm ridiculous. And yeah, that's my little electrical system.
That's really impressive.
Yeah,
That is
he did
impressive.
such a good job. I'm so impressed with the job the electrician that I hired did. He'd never done
Yeah.
a system like this before.
Okay.
So he was so excited to learn and to try
Yes.
and to work on it, and he did great, and it's worked flawlessly ever since he installed it.
Oh, that's great. That's real peace of mind.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
without this, I'd be miserable,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So it needed to be really good,
Yeah.
and it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I don't think we'll be able to get to it because we'll be in a gully. But behind there,
Let's
storage,
see if I can.
right?
Let's see if I can. I think I can. Yeah, the lock on here doesn't work, so I had to get creative and put this lock on. But I do have, typical van lifer garage.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well,
So there's my water tank
in the corner. Let's just
and
zoom in on that.
just all my junk, my firewood, and a
Yeah.
lawn chair, and
Yeah.
all the classic stuff.
Yeah. So as far as water tanks and gray tanks and all that go, what have you got?
So for fresh water, I've got the 30-gallon that's plumbed in, and I've got a water pump, so it feeds both. I have regular water and hot water.
Is
So
that an on-demand system?
I have a 2.5-gallon hot water tank.
Okay.
It's a, Bosch. I think it's a Bosch.
Okay.
And it sounds really small, and it is quite small, but it heats the water up so hot that I have to mix it with so much cold that I have more than enough to do a couple loads of dishes, wash my hair,
Yeah.
everything.
Wash
and
the dog.
To wash the dog, I usually have to wait for more water to heat up.
Yeah.
But the only gray tank I have is a 2.5-gallon one from Canadian Tire that's under my sink.
Right.
And I just have to empty that every couple of days.
Right.
But I have no tanks under the bus. I didn't
Right.
want anything that could freeze. All my plumbing is run through the inside on an insulated floor against an insulated wall. So
I
I
really thought things through.
Well, and last January, it got really cold on the island.
Mm-hmm.
And the campground I was staying in at the time, the pipes all froze. Everybody in their RVs, all their pipes froze. I was like the only person that didn't have frozen pipes, so I still could use water because of the way that I built it. Because I'd learned my lessons having had a travel trailer.
Yeah.
And I knew I don't want pipes underneath my vehicle where they could freeze.
Yeah.
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 And they never have. No.
Okay.
So far.
All right.
Yeah.
You gotta love the sense of humor here. This one. 0 to 60 eventually. Love it. Okay. Well, thank you so much for the tour, and I want to ask you a few questions about your lifestyle now. You're full-time now.
I am full-time.
For how long?
I hit the road the 3rd of October of 2023. So a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And?
It's the best thing I've ever done.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, we've been talking about that,
Uh-huh.
haven't we? We're so on the same wavelength with what it's done for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been a lifelong dreamer of this. So when I was 5, my uncle had bought and converted a full-size school bus. Like early 70s.
Wow.
And
one of the original hippies.
One of the absolutely original hippies. And he owned a carpet store in Calgary. And the whole inside of the bus was white shag carpet.
It was a shaggin' wagon.
It was. And us kids, us cousins, we hung out in that bus and we played and we had so much fun. And all I ever wanted to do was travel in a bus. And as a kid, we camped all the time. I recall so clearly, we were down in Minnesota and there was this band of like traveling nomads or whatever, and they were in an Airstream trailer and they'd go to these different campgrounds and sing songs and do plays for the kids. And I thought, that's the coolest life ever, and I want that. And that's been hanging in my head since I was 5 years old.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where, COVID kind of destroyed my business and I was in a really bad place emotionally. And I thought, well, if not now, when? Like we said, right?
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, pull the trigger. Just pull the trigger. And I started looking for buses, and I saw this bus on Facebook Marketplace.
Right.
I fell in love with the windows.
Yeah.
And
me too.
yeah. And
I didn't want to change the windows.
Yeah.
I love the shape of them.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I just started. So November of 21, I bought it and took 2 years to convert it. And now I've been on the road for a year and a half.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And so you've just been on Vancouver Island. You're on the mainland again with me here. And you're heading east.
Heading east back to Alberta and then north up Fort McMurray, maybe to Yellowknife in Northwest Territories, possibly to the Yukon.
Right.
Not really sure. Haven't decided yet.
Yeah.
Where the road takes me.
You travel like me. You wake up in the morning and go, okay, where am I going?
Where am I going today? What are we going to see?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly the same as
I don't
me.
have a plan. I have no plan. It's great.
Yeah. So, now you might not want to answer this question. I don't know how you're supporting yourself on the road.
So I started out, I said semi-retired. And I thought that I could travel back to Calgary a couple times a year and still do my business, which was teaching first aid and CPR. I had a lot of corporate clients, and I thought I could just have them all do their training in like May. And then I could go back out on the road, and then I could go back and maybe do a bunch more in September.
Yeah.
And that would finance the rest of the year. And I went back last spring, this time last year.
Yeah.
And tried, and I just went, I can't do this. It's too hard, and it's hard to park, and it's hard to haul my equipment around, and I have nowhere to store it and to clean it. So I went, okay, enough of that. So I shut the business down in June of last year, and I was just living off my savings since then. And then December of this last year, I got a part-time job as a remote admin assistant for a psychologist in Comox.
Oh.
And it has been the greatest thing. It's so fun. She's amazing to work with.
Yeah.
I have free reign over when and how I work, as long as I take care of the clients and I do the scheduling and I do all the claims and finances and stuff. And it's all remote. And it's just, I do about 2 to 3 hours a day. And then I have the rest of the day to do whatever I want. And so that's been really financing me for the last couple of months.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So do you think that this is going to be your lifestyle choice forever? Or what are your plans for the future?
For the foreseeable future, yeah. I came into this knowing I would do a minimum of 5 years.
Okay.
That was the plan. And eventually, I've got some friends that we want to all get together and buy a piece of land on Vancouver Island probably and have what we call our Golden Girls property. And that will be just a group of women and tiny homes and school buses or whatever anybody wants to live in, and all share the work. So not a commune, but kind of communal type nomadic living.
Yeah.
A home-based place to come and go from.
I think an awful lot of us have that dream,
Yeah.
of settling into maybe like a tiny house or something like that and being in a community.
Yeah.
Still. Yeah.
Because it's funny because out on the road by yourself, you're not in a community, but yet you are.
Yes.
And the first winter I didn't have much community at all, and I'm very introverted, so I was more than happy to just be alone. Yeah. And I needed that, I think, after the last several years. And then this winter I found the most amazing community of women, and we've been coming together and camping and then going our separate ways and then coming back together and traveling, and it's just, I can't even begin to describe how great my life is.
I know. The friendships you develop, the bonds happen so quickly.
Instantly.
And I've made more friends in the last 2.5 years than I think I've made in my whole lifetime. Like, good friends. Right?
I know when people say it's so hard to make friends later on in life. No, it's not.
No. It's kind of like being a kid again. It's like, hey, you want to come out and play?
No, that's exactly what it is. Hi, do you want to be my friend?
Yeah.
Do you want to hang out?
Yeah,
it is. It's and then we're very childlike in a lot of what we do.
Yeah.
And how great that as we age, we get to be more childlike because I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
I don't care what people think of me. I don't care whether I don't wear makeup anymore.
Yeah.
Nothing, and I don't care. And it's great. It's so freeing, and everyone that I know is kind of the same way, and it's just. if I see you, I see you. If I don't, I don't. And, you
Yeah.
know, ships that pass in the night, but then we get together and it's like no time is gone.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Yeah, it's such a sense of freedom and joy all the time.
Mhm.
And it's not easy.
Nope.
It's not
not
easy, but certainly worth it.
It's a very difficult way of life in that there's decision fatigue.
Yes.
Where am I going to sleep? Where am I
Exactly.
going to go? Where am I going to stay? Where am I going to dump my
Every
tanks?
day.
Where am I going to find food? You never get to, one of the things that bugs me the most is I never shop at the same grocery store. So I don't know
where anything is.
every store is different. Everybody's got their favorite grocery store and they
Yes.
know if they need mustard, they know exactly what aisle to go to. I have
Yeah.
no idea where it is.
Yeah, yeah.
But,
Or even if they carry what you want.
right?
Right?
But how fun is that, okay, this store doesn't carry what I want.
Right.
So now I have to make it up or I have
Yeah.
to change. And just being flexible, I think, is 90% of the way to win this game.
Yeah.
Not being so stringent and set in your ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So, you know, an awful lot of the people that watch my channel think about doing this, dream about doing this, especially mainly women.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the fellows out there too. So what would your advice be? And I know it's probably going to be the same answer I always
It's going to be
give.
the same. Do it. But you really got to think about it first.
Yes.
What scares me is when I see people in some of these online groups and they think, you know, my rent's going up and I can't afford it anymore, so maybe I'll just live in my vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't ever even camped, I think that's a dangerous thing to think that you can see all these YouTubers and these glorious lives
Mm-hmm.
and think that it's easy, because it's not.
Yeah.
It's very challenging, but what it comes down to is what kind of challenges are you willing to face,
Yes.
right? I am willing to face the challenge of, I have no idea where I'm sleeping tonight.
Yeah.
I don't know what city I'm going to end up in.
Yeah.
Because I'm leaving here and I'm driving further east. I don't know how far I'll go.
Yeah.
I don't know where I'm going to sleep. I need to get some water. I don't know where I'm going to get that, but I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And that's part of the puzzle. But when you
and that's really empowering.
yeah. Oh, it is.
The confidence boost that I've
Right?
had since doing this is huge.
And what I think is the little wins every day that I don't think people realize how many little wins they have a day. Like I'll fill up my water tank, I'll dump my waste tanks, and then I'm like, wow, I got water and my power's full and my gray tank is empty. I'm having a great day.
Yeah.
And it doesn't sound like much, but
Yeah.
those little wins, if you celebrate them,
Yeah.
is so, it is, it's empowering, and
Yeah.
and you have to just celebrate that, because there's
Yeah.
a lot of losses. There's a lot of
Yeah.
times that things are hard.
There are. I have a coffee mug that I keep pens and things in the bus, and there's a saying on it that says, it's the little things.
Yeah.
And it is. It's the quality of your relationships, the people that, you know, you develop relationships with, or those that you already have. And just those little daily wins, like you said, it's the little things.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think as a society, we've forgotten to celebrate that.
Yeah.
I feel this has sort of forced me into that,
Yeah.
and I love it. I've never been happier in my entire life. I've never been healthier.
Yeah.
I hike every day. I don't eat the way I used to. I've lost a ton of weight since I've been in this lifestyle.
Yeah.
And I just think, what a gift that it's afforded me this.
Yes.
And I can do this, and I feel safe. I never have felt unsafe.
Yeah.
I've been more unsafe before I started this lifestyle.
Yeah.
So I just don't see the bad side, but I also don't think it's for everybody.
Yes.
I think there are people who just aren't suited to this kind of lifestyle. If you can't live minimalist, if you can't live not knowing where you're going to sleep at night, this is not for you.
Yeah.
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 You have to be okay with that.
100%. Yeah.
And you have to learn to be a deep sleeper.
Yes, you do. Yeah. You do get used to highway noise.
Oh my gosh, I have a friend that I made her sleep on a street in Parksville one night, and she goes, oh, I hated it. I kept thinking somebody was going to rear end me. And she goes, I hardly slept at night. I said, oh, I have the best sleeps of my life on a street. I slept last night.
I hate you.
Yep. Last night I was on a very busy street down
Yeah.
from a fire hall in Nanaimo in front of a friend's condo building.
Yeah.
And I slept there several times, and it is loud.
Yeah.
And I sleep so good there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. Every time the traffic goes by, the whole bus rocks.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm a baby again. It's perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I know how you feel.
Yeah.
Well, Lynette, thank you so much.
Oh, my
I'm
pleasure.
so glad we managed to make this work.
Yeah.
Right? That I noticed you were coming back to the mainland.
That was
and,
the
the timing worked out. Quite often I don't wake up as early as I did this morning, and we would have missed each other.
Yeah.
So it was meant to be.
It was.
Yeah.
Well, and we've been Facebook friends for a while now,
Yeah.
but first time to meet in person, so
Yeah.
this was great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for coming and meeting me here.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
And where's little and Stella?
Thank you, Stella. Thank you, sweetie. She's looking at Mom.
Yeah, she is.
All right.
Well, thank
Well,
you.
we'll see you down the road, maybe.
We will.
Okay.
I told you she was lovely. What a wonderful personality. And we had so much in common. I don't know whether it just has something to do with people that have that kind of nomadic spirit, but our experiences and the things that we feel we've received from being nomads, we're so on the same page. It was really quite interesting. And yeah, her lovely dog Stella, she was just so lovely. So it was so interesting to compare our two buses and share the experiences and the things we had done during our conversion and what we would do differently and all that sort of thing. So wherever you are in our incredibly beautiful world, I hope you're having a wonderful day. I hope you've had a wonderful week. And I'm going to say bye-bye for now. I love you all so much, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.